Okay.
I done with this guy. He was like,
Okay.
Back in front. Right. Okay. You got the mic check. Mic check.
mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Hey, what up, y'all? Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 0, 1, 2.
All those sexy folks. Alright, y'all, here we go. Y'all ready?
Here we go. Let's do it.
I'm talking to folks.
Yes.
Alright, cool. Obviously, you ready. Let's see. 1 second. Five, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to myself here on Side Streets and Intersections for intellectualradio.com. I just want to say that I really send a couple of shouts out to a couple of people, and I was down in Key West for a little R&R for a little while for the wedding of Regina and Yolanda, and I can say it was really, really beautiful. They did a star-studded wedding, and as you all know, I'm working on my PhD, so it's been research after research, really tired. So I just want to say to my listeners and viewers, thank you for still tuning in, and welcome back. I should not take off like that, but sometimes we have to rejuvenate. So once again, welcome to Side Streets and Intersections here on intellectualradio.com. And I just want to introduce my co-host, Miss Erica, my daughter, and our special guest, fitness guru, what I call her,
Fitness and cakes.
Solomon
Thank
Pratt.
you so much.
And I also want to say to those that are looking to explore the opportunity of having their own show, please call 708-223-8953. Welcome. I'm so glad to be back on air. So let's get right down into it. Let me just tell you how I met this brother. I was at the laundromat. You all don't know the Western Circle called Broadview. And I was washing my clothes, and walks this tall, handsome young man, and I had to take a step back for a second because he's a looker. He's a looker, women. If y'all looking live, he's a looker. And he was so humble. He was extremely humble, and he'll get into some of the other entrepreneurial things that he and his family does. But in the meantime, he started talking about fitness, and I had expressed an interest. And not knowing at that time, so I want to thank the producer, Mr. Earl Winfrey, for the opportunity, because back then I didn't know that I would have a radio show. And I invited you, and I said, keep in contact, because I would like to have you as a future guest. Did I not?
You sure did.
And so here we are on today.
I'm saying she got a fitness gear on today, and she's like ready to go run a couple miles, on a break.
Yeah. So, Mr. Solomon Pratt, let's get into who you are, from where you come, and what you do. And this is the perfect time to talk about health and fitness, because this is the time when we want to take off layers and not put them on.
Yes, totally. It's the summertime, so everybody want to show off your assets. And that's okay. That's okay, though. So my name is Solomon Pratt, and fitness is my life. Fitness is my passion. I live and breathe fitness. I'm all about getting results. And I tell people a lot. You can tell a lot about a person by how they look. That pretty much says a lot about them, or pretty much almost everything about them. So how you look says a lot about your lifestyle. So myself though, I work out twice a day, and I just feel great. I love getting results, and that's basically that I teach. I'm all about results. When people ask me what's my religion, I tell them I practice the religion of results.
Wow, that's beautiful. I think that for a person like myself who is trying to get back into health, wellness, and fitness, I think, as a matter of fact, when I met you, so many months ago, I could have shed some pounds. And he was very polite about it. I know I needed to lose weight, but he was really nice about it. But he was also, and we're going to get into this too, he was talking health and fitness, but he was selling cake too.
Yeah, and it's the reason for all that.
Now, let's get into that, because I did want to buy a piece of cake that was really good, I must say. So let's
I had
talk
something
about,
too with me, I think that's something else.
we're going to eat today,
Yeah.
we're going to run late.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into that. You are from a family of entrepreneurs, am I not correct?
Yes, totally though. So definitely, I just love the feeling of me not having a job, and every day I can control my destiny to the utmost. So basically, an entrepreneur is a person who is getting their money legally or illegally in an entrepreneurial way. So that's the main best definition of an entrepreneur. So I love that though, and then I tell people though, everything's about balance. So who wants to enjoy a life where they can enjoy certain things that they like? Like even though I'm a trainer, I work out a lot though, I still like cakes, but the main thing is that I know the fitness secrets that most people don't know. So I know the whole timing aspect of how to burn the fat all day.
Okay, so what are those fitness secrets?
One
I
of
would love to know.
Oh, excellent. Okay, I'm gonna give you one. So one of them is you have to constantly keep your body in fat burning mode and not fat storing mode. But the problem is a lot of people constantly do stuff that constantly puts their body in fat storing mode. And that's what I know. So I have the science so down pat. Because naturally, women lose 3 to 4 pounds of muscle a year, starting in their early 20s. So that's why it's essential for women to do strength training. The strength training gives your body curves, gives your body definition, and it makes your whole, fitness, regimen more easier. The more muscle you have, the more it burns fat. So the less cardio you got to do, and so you can have the best of both worlds. By you basically lifting weights, especially the proper way, your body will burn the fat in your deep sleep cycle, which is 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours. And with cardio, your body burns the fat starting 25 minutes after your aerobic activity. But I have other secrets on how I can have your body burn fat faster than that.
Okay, we'll get on down to it.
Yes.
Secret we want to know about.
Okay, sure. Okay, like doing HIIT cardio is one of the fastest ways on how you can burn more fat.
And HIIT is high intensity.
Yes, in interval training. So HIIT cardio is when basically it's been proven scientifically to this faster. So you will basically sprint or do something really, really strenuous for 2 minutes, and then you will break for a minute and go at it again, at least about 4 or 5 times. So that really, really gives you faster results. And when you can put both of them together, the cardio and the lifting weights together, that has your body to burn so much more fat. And the other thing that I like too that makes a big difference is spicy foods. Spicy foods help your body burn way more fat. Like cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper increases your metabolism up to 8% in 2 hours. So just knowing tips like that though, you can constantly get your body and you can constantly keep revving up your metabolism. And I have more secrets than that. But that's what I can share right now. So.
Okay, so for a person, say a person has abdominal adhesions, and they don't have the muscle strength to do, say, crunches, as they say.
Which I don't do crunches, and crunches are actually bad for you.
They're bad because?
Yes, because crunches a lot of times stretches out your neck. A lot of times people, when they do it, they do it incorrectly and they pull on the neck. And it takes 22,000 crunches just to burn 1 pound of stomach fat. So now that's too long. So that's a myth. But most people do a lot of stuff that's wrong.
Hold on, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
You said it takes, give me that figure.
It takes 22,000 sit-ups just to burn 1 pound of stomach fat. So I don't have that kind of time.
Ladies, it takes 22,000
sit-ups
to burn 1 pound
of stomach fat.
of
No
stomach fat.
crunches. No crunches, guys.
Yes.
No crunches.
Avoid crunching.
No
Yeah,
crunches.
so that's a big no-no. And the other part that makes it even worse is people, they're not technical with it though. When you have a gut and you have stomach showing, coming, showing off from all your clothes, by you doing stomach work when you already have a big stomach is the worst thing. And the reason why is like, okay, no. Like I said, most people don't know the truth, but like I said, I know the whole science. So when you basically have a stomach and you're doing crunches or doing stomach work, you're making your stomach look bigger because then you have that fat on the outside, and by you basically building stomach muscle doing the stomach work, it's gonna make your stomach look even bigger than that. So So that's why, a lot of people that you see in the gym, okay, a lot of people have a gym membership, but guess what? Most people in the gym are not fit. But it's not that simple. If it was that simple, everybody would have a fit bang body. It's not. And this thing I took you to, it comes down to a few different factors. People say, Solomon, how soon can I start to see results? And I tell them, I give them the best answer. I say, it depends on you. It depends on your level of commitment. That's number one. It depends on how disciplined are you. It depends on how coachable are you. It depends on, how bad you want it. Those are like the main factors. But most people, they don't have a clue. And that's why most people don't get results. I'm all about results. So yeah, so I'll break everything down. As long as the person is coachable and they have at least some type of toughness about themselves, something for me to build off of, then I can pretty much guarantee results.
So let's slow it down a little bit. And what I want to know is, say a person who has never ever worked out before, and they want to get fit, because we know that pre-diabetes and diabetes is very prevalent in the African American community. Our historical factors that contribute to us being overweight are a lot of the foods that we grew up on. So what would be your recommendation to a person who says, I don't know what I'm doing, I fear embarrassment, but I know I need to do something different?
Okay, so I have a few different ways on how they can tackle that problem. First thing I said, they need to get a journal and write down what they're eating and also what time that they're eating, so that it can be tracked and they can go back and see what they're doing wrong. So that's one thing, that basically being a personal trainer, I have to pretty much, see what you're doing wrong. So I have to know what you're doing. So a lot of times people say, well, I know how to eat right. That's what everybody thinks. But but when you come to somebody who's actually a trainer and who knows results, it's really, like I said, it comes down to, okay, so let him see and let him see that for himself. Let him be the judge. But I took you a lot of times too. If you feel basically like a regular person and need to lose about 30, 40 pounds, and you talk to a person who need to lose 150 pounds or 200 pounds, of course they're going to tell you you're fit. Girl, you're fine. You don't need to work out, but look at who you're talking to. But that's the main thing is, yes, look at who you're talking to. So of course, they're not going to tell you the truth, because to them, in their eyes, you're fit. But but compared to somebody who's really, really in shape and who's really fit, so that really says it all.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Myself, I'm looking to, particularly, and let's be honest, when you're over 40, for women, business, men, over 40, it's harder for us to lose, or do you think it's more psychosomatic?
I'll say that it actually is a little bit more harder. It is, but not by too much. It still is just a little bit more harder, but then usually have to be just more committed. Usually have to be more committed and more resilient. Because I done seen women in their 40s and 50s who have way better bodies than women in their 20s. Because one of the main reasons why is that, like I said, I keep it real, y'all. So this is real talk. I'm real talk. Like one of the main problems is like a lot of women, okay, a lot of women say, okay, why should I work out when basically a lot of guys tell me that I'm flying fine, whatever. And so a lot of guys tell me, I look good, whatever. But a lot of women just choose to settle instead of being the best version of themselves. Yeah, but it's different though. It's different because like a man, he's not primarily judged off of how he look first. No. Yeah. No. Let me break it down to you. Let me go break it down to you. It's been this way. Yes, it's been that way since the beginning of time. A woman's first judged off how she looked first. I didn't invent the rules. A man, he judged more so off of his ability to provide, his level of gain, his income.
You don't get there, you don't find out how much you can find or his income until you've gotten past the physical first.
Yeah.
Speak to her.
Of course.
You're not gonna walk up to me and I'm gonna know your income.
You can not know, but then okay, at first, looks helps with a guy, but it's not as essential. That's why you can see guys like Biggie, being big and and out of shape. But as long as a man has his money right and he got his stuff in business in order, he can get a fly woman, but it's not the same. So and this is a perfect fact too. If you look at a man who's rich and he's starting off getting a new woman, he's gonna get a woman who's in tip-top shape. If he basically been with her for a while, then he'll just she been rocking with me before, but if he's starting off and he got money, he got chips, he'll get somebody who's a good example of his discipline and his money.
Now, just to kind of piggyback off of what you said, to some degree, I would have to, to some level, I would have to agree with you because, and maybe it could be a generational thing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say that as an older woman, that is correct. Because they're looking at physically how you look. They don't find out about who you are, but it's all about, a woman does have to be better fit. Because I have seen men who, I'm going to be nice, maybe less desirable.
If he got his money and his business right, he can still pull women, young and fly. So he gotta have his stuff right. So it still helps. If a man look good, that's definitely an asset. And plus, it helps, but it's not the same. So it's been that way since the beginning of time. I don't make the rules. I just observe. Especially me being a trainer, I see everything.
So what we're going to do right now, we're going to go to a music break here on Side Streets and Intersections on PersonalTrainerSolomon.com, and then we will return with Mr. Solomon Pratt. Ladies, he's in Local, and he's going to tell us about fitness and where he trains and where he can train you. We'll be back shortly.
I like this. It's hot. Stop this.
So the misogyny and the sexism is real strong with each other right now.
So what do you want?
Well, let me stop this.
Okay.
Good job.
Good name.
Yeah, so
All my teachers are hustling.
I want to know what you do about this. This is what I want.